Welcome everybody to this mixed quarterfinal here at EUCF. Liam Grant and Stefan Pazzo are making their way over to the fields, so you're going to have to put up with me. My name's Lou Burgess, and I'm actually working on the cameras this weekend, but subbing in for the start of this game on commentary as we see the pull to open up this game. Well, Steph and Liam are here, so I'll let them take over.
Ooh, thank you. As we get into this one, Tartu Turbulence with the disc. And kicking things off in this mixed quarterfinal. Tartu found their way in with a win this morning in the pre-quarter, and Mosquitos topped their pool despite losing their last game to Lemmings. We're underway. Tartu in white with the disc, Mosquitos in red, playing defense first time. Stefan Rapazzo alongside Liam Grant. Liam, we're into one here. Jakob Tam launches, and that one is caught just in bounds.
Yeah, foot in the line. Glad to see Jakob Tam back out there. He had an injury yesterday. There was doubts about whether he could play, but played in that pre-quarter matchup against Pelt, and they needed him to take down the Irish, and they're back out there again. That's the difference when you get these quarterfinal games. You have one team that played already today in a pre-quarter. The other team got the rest, watched the game. Mosquitos, you know, had a fantastic day one. Tartu have had to take the scenic route, but, you know, one count him out in this game.
Would not at all, particularly like you said with the big man Tam. I know him well, a super teamer. He is a force to be reckoned with. The biggest and baddest of the Estonians in the sky.
Certainly in size. I think Helen Terra and Impact could be
yes,
right
you're
there.
absolutely right. And not a one-man, one-player team by any stretch of the imagination.
Looking for a shout there for Melanie Mosquitos, who got injured, I think, in last game watching at home. Yeah, Mosquitos really surprising a lot of people in this division.
It's turning into one of those things where they do it and they do it and they get closer, and it's starting to be less and less of a surprise. Tam gets in the way and knocks that one down. So Tartu trying to move out of their own end zone. Bomb one deep. Tam is there. Jakob Tam spins, gets the up line. Loritz is there. Other side of the field, Terra looks to the end zone. Nothing there, centers. Loritz. Pardon me, that's Lintz. And they're in the far corner. It is Loritz, hands on knees, gassed already after this first point, but they do get the hold.
Great play from some of the legends of Tartu. Saw Christian Loritz picking it up in his own end zone. He's played a lot of his ultimate with KFK as well. Remember him back in the day when it was Sexy Legs, I think the kind of big club team out of Estonia was. He was one of the stars then. Still doing it here, this time for Tartu. That was kind of an upwind score. And like when they have their stars out there, Helen Terra, Jakob Tam, Loritz, they're as good as any team in this division. And I've seen Spalholz here for the Austrians. I believe he's playing.
I was told he was. He said he was. He's out there. Number 97, right in the middle of their line. The big fella sporting the mustache nowadays. Much like yourself, Liam.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone's going to hear the mustache at home. You'd hear it before you see it. Yeah, couldn't play with Austria at the World Championships. Carrying an injury, but I think back just in time for this one.
Angetta. The Angetta brothers. Christoph and Konstantin behind the disc. And the deep shot goes. That one tailing out of bounds. Trying to find Spalholz. And that one gets away.
And Spalholz had separation, but a bit of a crosswind here coming towards their camera, the near sideline, and you have to put edge. You have to account for that wind, and didn't do it there. Allowed the wind to drift it out of bounds.
Big shot goes hanging and just, wow, that was an interception catch, but an improbable catch any way you slice it. Landed between Clara Leet, who was the intended receiver. Here's another look at this one. Liam, how improbable is this?
It's almost like she sandwiches off her back there. She pulls her towards her. It was kind of bizarre sequence of events.
A very bizarre sequence of events.
She ended up kind of pulling it off her back in the end. Wearing the disc like a backpack. Not something you see too often. And I think there's a confusion about what happened there.
I mean, it's an interception. Is what it is. It's a D.
I think that what happened, but it's just unusual. Was there contact after?
There's a foul called.
Wow. It did look like she almost pulled it towards her to catch on the second bid. I understand where she's coming from. Doesn't feel right in another way that this is going back. It was fun, whatever happened there.
That was fun. I've not seen something like that in all my years.
You see people like pull it off their back when they're lying on the ground.
But upright and kind of squashed between them. Very exciting stuff. Leet with the disc. Fires deep. And nobody home there. She had Nauman sighted, but unable to catch up.
Well, we're at the firing range today. Both teams not afraid to send it.
Send it. Is that the Hoagie podcast?
Yeah, we just had Connor Hogan on that East Block Yaka game. Definitely a memorable game.
And what a game that was.
I'm going to spoil it for anyone now that haven't watched it already. East Block taking down Yaka. I don't know why the Troubles winning team in the background there like climbs some kind of mountain. I don't know.
Yeah, that's their winning celebration because they're going into the quarters. They will have their hands full with grit. Here's Spalholz. Holtzy, as he's known, goes back to Angetta. On the line, in for goal. That is Raba Prizbalek, who connects and gets the opening goal for the Austrian outfit Mosquitos.
finds herself in acres of space in the end zone. Brilliant play by Mosquitos, deciding to work it up slowly there. You can see actually playing with kind of 3 male handlers in around the disc, kind of weaving it, but then looking to one of their female matching players to put the icing on the cake. And she does just that. Completely blown coverage from Tartu. So I think a lot of people have picked kind of Tartu to make the semis. I saw a few predictions for that. Not a lot of people picking Mosquitos. I think if you had to reassess after day one, though, you'd be possibly touting them. I think they finished top of the group, right? And it was Leamington Lemons, the ones they upset. They'd already the group wrapped up even before they played Lemmings.
Yeah, and they let that one go. Not the prettiest game by Mosquitos, but they blooded in their whole roster. They got to rest some of their top end a bit more than they may have had they not sealed the deal. Christian Loritz, the man who's been around the block more than a couple trips. You know, helped to put Estonian Ultimate on the map, done a lot of work playing in Denmark. I even played with him way back in the day in the Philippines. Raba, what a up-and-coming young player she is. Pelo to Tam. Tam slams one deep looking for Tara, but the disc a little bit too floaty. The body check there on the other end, unintentional of course. Sheruga gets the block.
Jerry Sheruga, I believe she's 16 years old according to her stats here, playing 5 years. She did so well to Russell and tussle with Helen Tara, who's usually so good in those one-on-one situations, and held her ground.
Blows my mind that there are 16-year-olds out here holding it down like that. Well done, Sheruga. Lainey Meister with a beautiful throw, but mishandled on the other end. Ressel couldn't hang on to that, and now Tam picks up. Loritz fires, looking for Tam, but well in front is Ressel, making up for his turnover on the other side. Dunshan sends deep, and they're not going to get a completion this time.
Yeah, Shrugla and Ressel doing well to defend the end zone. I think they've got their matchups well picked there, Mosquitos. They have recognized Tam and Tara as the big deep threats and have kind of put some lesser famed players on them, but clearly athletes, Shrugla and number 72, Paul Ressel. I think they're actually able to compete with them athletically. May not be his experience on the disc, but enjoying this matchup of Shrugla and Tara as we see it now.
Tara fires it upfield, but easily taken away by Jakob Dunshan. Back to Dunsi. And then Meister. Dunshan. Forward, and Sheruga hangs on. Dunshan. To Lainey Meister. Up line, continuation to Kratky, and centered to Dunshan. Meister. Dunshan was off and running up the line. Next option is the Sheruga fill cut. Ressel back. And Meister goes to Sheruga. Across the field. And there they are. Mosquitos for the win, and a nice little kick spike from Lainey Meister.
A big break for Mosquitos. putting Tartu on under all sorts of pressure there. I love their defensive looks. There was a lot of sagging in the lane, trying to take away the underspace, and then just really ready for the deep shots from Tartu, which the likes of Tam and Terry, see them walking away, hands on hips, disappointed with themselves, but Mosquitos won the matchups in the air. As we see Bauer here now. What's your feelings about the big pink luminous socks with the red jersey? Looks good when you're throwing shots to the end zone like that.
Yeah. My thoughts are not going to be favorable. I don't like accessories that jump out beyond the color code of the team. When I coached my last days of coaching, it is no good. Accessories had to be red, white, black only.
I love matching socks. It's rare you see teams do it, but I think it looks great.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the more you can match, the better. Only one hat option, only one headband option, only one sock option. I would love a team like this.
It is WFF rules in terms of the championship rules for hats, which you rarely see enforced or practiced. See Mosquitos here in this timeout. Very happy with how they're approaching this game. They would have had lots of opportunities to scout Tartu. Probably watched their pre-quarter game in the hotel earlier today. Hey, these are the matchups you know what they want to do. They're going to look for Terra and Tam deep. They've had players swarming all over them. Why are they called Mosquitos?
That's a good question. We might be able to get to the bottom of that one.
We might try and get to the bottom of it.
It 2-1. 20 minutes into this game, it's 2-1. So low-scoring affair thus far. And slow and steady moving. Liam Grant trying to do some reconnaissance work and get to the bottom of why this team are called the Mosquitos.
It's not like Australia when you have the dingoes and the the firetails. You kind of
get named after local fauna. Christian Luritz to pick up the disc, centers, and goes inside to Lilog. Now Helen Terra. Terra fires up line and hits. Teda to Tam. Back to Lilog. Raba with strong hands on it. She can't catch it and calls the foul.
I found out why they're called Mosquitos. Their first training field would have been on the banks of the Danube River, and that was loads of mosquitoes the whole time, which they said was unbearable at training sessions, so they just tried to embrace that name, and they're the ones swarming Tartu now and biting at their tails.
And Tartu back in action. Loris with a quick dish into Lilorg. Lilorg shoots, not in. Raba staring down the end zone. Terra gives a cut, unavailable. Breaks for Tam. And Tartu level things 2 apiece.
Wham bam, thank you Tam. Wearing the pants today, but that's not slowing him down. Good to see him smiling. We saw a bit of yesterday in the rain. Was, nursing a bit of an ankle. Wasn't sure about whether he played today, but it was going to take a lot to stop him.
Oh, it will indeed. He is a dangerous, dangerous man. I could talk plenty about Jakob Tam. You and I both felt the effects of losing against him at CFC last year on the beach. He was awesome in a game like that at CFC, and then seeing him at Super Team and a team full of stars where it's kind of easy. You can just take a back seat and do that. And, you see him shine. Probably had his best game in the finals, stepping up, making huge plays. Just a big man. He's got speed. He's got big throws. Even with a banged up foot, Jakob Tam can get it done. So
he kind of reminds me of Billy Idol. Does he have a look at Billy Idol about him? That kind of almost bleached blonde hair.
Yes, I want somebody to get us a meme of a picture of Tam and Idol side by side. Angetta fires deep. Spalholz is going to beat Tara. That is a tough assignment for Tara to have to peel off and help on that one.
Tara does that all the time. Actually, I watched the end of that Pell Tartu game, and she's so good at recognizing, hey, they're going to do a bit of lad ball, they're going to hook to the guy, I'm going to peel off. And actually in the Pelt game, she did a good job of, she's not going to maybe beat, the likes of Spalholz or other these big players in the air, but he's trying to get position, but couldn't shut down the lane there. But that's what you got to do there. You're not going to jump on them, but can you get into that space before them legally? And, if you're trying to make a play into this, you can go occupy that space and try and make them foul you in order to get the play. But able to get behind Tara on that occasion.
A situation where if Spalholz's assignment was closer, Tara can really take away the extra space and maybe prevent. Spalholz just had too much separation from his defender that time that Tara's help ended up being a one-on-one on Spalholz, and that is he's going to have the advantage in that situation.
He's drinking a Monster Energy drink now on the sideline. You see a lot of sports stars do that in all sports. I see Ultimate players do it. I don't get it at all.
Yeah, me either. Coffee on the sideline, Monster on the sideline.
I think there's some vodka in that as well.
Yeah, you think he's starting the party early. Loritz fires. Tara, the intended receiver. Sharuga on the chase, but Tara will not be denied that time. Great chase, great shot by Loritz.
Bit of deja vu. Tartu saying we can play the hooking game as well, and I think that's the challenge for both of these defenses. They know what the opposition wants. They want to hit Spalholz. They have a few receivers like Tartu have Tara. That's always going to be the first look. You can see they're trying to sag the lane there, actually, Mosquitos, but with this downwind, very easy to throw over that player, that arcing touch forehand straight in the hands of Tara, and that's the objective here for both teams. Tartu now starting defense. Don't let them score straight away with a hook. We can't let them connect with their best throwers and best receivers straight away. How do we stop that? Can we switch? Can we put a zone? Can we, sag in the lane? I think that's the challenge, particularly now. Look, Mosquitos have got that break early, and it was a downwind break, but it can now essentially trade these downwinds. It's going to be much, much harder to break upwind. And even though it's not super windy, we were talking about this earlier, I would still on the toss take the upwind end zone. I think the wind will not have that much influence on the game still.
I still think it's going to have much less. I think in a game like today, I'm still taking one extra possession and choosing offense, but it is close. Yesterday, there's no two ways about it. You take the wind as early and often as possible.
I think for these teams, which are clearly both hooking teams, once if you can break that downwind, and Mosquitoes in position here, playing offense downwind is just so much easier.
Angetta. That's Christoph, gets forward. That's Raba Prisbila. Fires. Angetta gets horizontal, not quite in yet. Full 360 push pass to his brother. Angetta to Angetta. And Mosquitos chalk the 4th point up on the board and lead by 1.
I think we haven't had a turnover in the last 4 points. Both of these teams, it started off a bit messier, but now, particularly when offenses are going downwind, they're just getting clean holds here. Both teams, 2 clean holds in a row, but it was that break on the third point for Mosquitos that's separating these two teams. So Tartu in a position now where they have to get a break upwind. Tartu started on offense, I think, in the first point of this game. So Mosquitos, they can trade to half. They'll be coming out on offense. It doesn't seem like much separating these teams right now, but essentially Tartu have to get an upwind break.
Yeah, to put themselves in the driver's seat. This one collected, and it's Christian Loritz at the center of the offense. Helen Terra back to Loritz.
You see Tartu starting off with a side stack there and isolating Terra, and now Tam getting involved, but that's their go-to first look. Put Terra in space.
Crystal Lintz to Raba. Ooh! Jakob Duncan gets horizontal and smacks it away. Now Dunci on the attack. Duncan back to Sharuga. The wind up, and that's put away. Into the hands. And continued on. And that one hung on to as well. Great grab by Brumek. Sharuga to Duncan, and timeout by the Austrians. Mosquitos want to have a think about this after getting a precious break opportunity.
That was Dunshern wanting to celebrate their big block. That's what was happening there. I think you're allowed to do that. You know, you get a big block, call a timeout. Hey, everybody,
get around me.
Yeah, let's take a moment to celebrate my awesomeness. As we have a look at it there, Tam didn't see it coming at all.
And look at that continuation, completion there. Excellent stuff. It's 4-3. Mosquitos over Tartu. More action to come. Four 3. Mosquitos take the timeout after generating a turn. Can they convert? That's the big question. We always go into a bit of analysis of these in-point timeouts. Will it be a burn and turn, or have they drawn something up? Kratky and Duncan exchange, then to Sharuga. There it is! Tam gets it straight back with his own acrobatics. And now he's off and running, and that's all day Tam on the board, and that is a burn and turn if I've ever seen one. Jakob Tam takes it the other way.
And they're pumped up right now, getting loud and proud. And you wonder if that was the right idea to call a timeout from Mosquitos. You know, this D-line is clearly very athletic, but maybe lacks some of the throwing prowess. And Tam answers back. And you can see him settles himself, but he knows where he's going. It's a straight sprint to the end zone. He has position, brilliant throw, arcing right into his path, and that would have been a massive upward break for Mosquitos.
Getting some great action. They actually just missed a wicked somersault by Tam. He's putting it on for the cameras, as he tends to do, the big fella.
Yeah, it looks like a nice day for a white wedding here in Belgium. Such a contrast to yesterday. It was the apocalypse.
Yeah, biblical weather yesterday. Sunny, blue skies. Just a few clouds, but they're quite pretty up there. There's the under, Hubel to Angetta. Has an open reset, goes to Solomon.
And very flat forces here from Tartu. I think they're trying to stop that hook.
Solomon asks for some movement. He's got the isolation of Spalholtz in the middle. He's going to get the easy unders. Kick to the other side, Simon, and that one mishandled. And another chance for Tartu now.
Great defense from Tartu. That's straight up 4, stopping the hook, forcing Mosquitos to swing a lot and eventually get the turn out of it.
Clarelite spins, collects, and gets again. Leads. That one into the hands, continued. Varblas, and back to the hands of Lillard. That one, the somersault required.
No
but
call,
collected.
rides the contact.
Nauman in for goal. Clarelite with the spike and Tartu break.
Tartu break to get back on serve, and they really needed that one. At this stage of the game, puts them back in the driver's seat. Brilliant from the Estonians.
Well, I'll say, Liam, ever since the Dunshern timeout, it's been nothing but Tartu.
Moral of the story, don't call timeout. No, I think that was... And the big thing there was good defensive choices from Tartu. They had to stop the deep game from Mosquitos and managed to do it at that point. And some great small ball, had to work it upwind. Brilliant performance by the 7 on the line there. So we're back on serve, and now in a situation where the O-lines are going upwind, and you expect another break from one of these teams pretty close. It was Mosquitos who got it earlier, but I expect one of these teams to get another break very soon with the D-lines kind of going downwind. Lead staying out there. And we get to this end of the tournament, hitting quarterfinals. Every team is good. You're going to have close matchups, and yeah, really exciting stuff here.
You're right, Liam. We've got close matchups all across the park right now. We'll talk about scores as we go, but just casting my eyes upon it, there's a lot of tight games, and that's exactly what we expect. Angetter to Roy. Wind up and sent. This a heck of a match, and Tam does just enough to get Spalholtz to go up early.
Yeah, took out position there, Tam. Came around the back, and as it faded over, kind of forced Spalholtz to go up early. And managed to get the hook off there, but...
Other way. Oh, and it hits off the hands. Unable to collect. Loritz was there. But the disc is now in the hands of Lady Meister and the Mosquitos. Centered, Angetter. Oh, goodness me, Tam! You gotta be kidding me. Gets horizontal again.
Like a flying squirrel. How did he catch that as well?
Unbelievable athleticism, that man. Loritz. Hammers. And who is it? Nobody but Jakob Tam. And there's a pick called as he releases a cry of passionate joy there, but he'll have to do it again at least one more time.
You can't call a pick if you celebrate it really quickly. That's the rule, isn't it? You've already spiked it.
No. I spiked. It's a goal.
As we look at this here, I presume there probably was a pick, but you're wondering, was it going to affect the play? We see them there in the stack. Yeah, a pick. What do you got there? And I think it's going to be a goal. Great spirit from Spalholtz. you understand that it was a pick.
Yes.
But it's a hammer to the break side, quite an accurate run.
It wasn't a pick that affected three steps he would have required 4 to make a play on that one. Great spirit by Spalholtz.
Is that a break rocket they just brought out there?
They do have a break rocket.
You know, back when Ranelagh surprisingly won the European Championships, they had a break rocket. So the break rocket proving it worked for Johnny Bravo in the US, worked for Ranelagh, the break rocket.
Get yourself a break rocket. That's the way to win championships. How
Exciting
you doing?
game here, mixed
We know that they
quarterfinal.
wait, we gotta switch sides. There we go. Hey.
Nothing but love here in the commentary booth. Really exciting game.
But having a blast. We love bringing you this action. We're so happy to be here. Alti TV doing the production for the EUF and the Solid Sport Diffusion. It's a good time. I get to spend some time over in the Gold Coast with Mr. Grant, and we get to connect and do it again here in sunny northern Belgium. Pretty much similar climates. We were left one and into the other, yeah?
Exactly the same.
That's a nice day today. Angetta gets the under. Hammerl.
Hammer looks like a Austrian Mac Hecht. Do you know?
He cites his sporting hero as Jimmy Mickle, as a guy with the same size of a body that likes the big throws. So, but you're right, he does have a bit of a Mac Hecht look about it, especially the mesh back hat. The underneath comes. Lepic goes. And now Leet. Quick movement at Elite. And the shot from Lil Org hangs, and swatted away. Hammerl takes everybody out to get the D.
I think that was just maybe friendly fire. Yeah, that was a big hit. Presume it's just going to be the turnover will stand and play on. You'd imagine there, yeah. See the ground tap, just making sure she was okay. It was a big hit.
Picked up Hammerl. No, that's not Hammerl. That's Angetter now. There's Deutsch Bayer who kicked things off. Now Hammerl. Hits Angetter. Deutsch Bayer and a nice seam found by Angetter. Both those Angetter brothers, sensational throwers. Hammerl. Goes around with the backhand. Has that pop pass release and a nice layout by Roy. Angetter comes back to the disc. Goes to Hammerl. And now Deutsch Bayer. Hammerl with a bit on his back, unaffected by that Lilorg brought. Low throw, Deutsch Bayer gives it back.
And things are just slowing down for Mosquitos there. They were struggling to get active cuts downfield. You felt the turnover was coming. Good end zone defense from Tartu. They couldn't get the continuation breakside passes. Tartu calling the timeout now. Didn't work out for Mosquitos. Let's see if it works out for Tartu here.
And the long points, it's a little bit different at the start of a possession after a turnover, especially one like where it was an error against the other team. long, that's one of those ones where you want to put your hands on your haunches and get the hands on your knees, and that one I don't mind as much. Not in mid-play, like slowing down the momentum and pace of a point. So Mosquitos 4, Tartu 6. We're taking this one into a timeout. Clarleet gets the offense going and gets it again from Lilorg. Leet fires up line. There's Helen Tara. Tara continuation. Lembert leads, gets a layout, and into the corner, and there is I believe a travel. Liam?
It's a pick call. Roy with the pick call quite early on. Don't think it affected the first pass, but she did stop playing.
Here's the layout. Nice play, no matter how you slice it, but that might come back because of the pick.
Yeah, I think it will. It should at least go to number 12 anyway for Tartu. Lilorg definitely didn't affect that play. I think it's gonna be called a goal. Yeah, I don't think it affected the play. The second pass as well. Good spirit and good resolution there. I think we've seen that a couple of times for both teams where we had the pick earlier.
Is that a break, Liam? There's the rocket.
Yeah, that verifies it for you.
So that's one way to win a championship. Buy a Nerf rocket and stomp on it when you get breaks, and you're going to win championships like Johnny Bravo did, like Ranela did. Liam's identified the pattern for us.
Yeah, that's why they pay me the big bucks to analyze things, and it's clearly just buying a break rocket is the way to win a championship. It'll be flying off the shelves and Toy Masters and Toys R Us everywhere in Belgium this weekend.
But what if every team has one? How do they? What happens if we're
all winning?
Can they just neutralize one another?
Is there enough for all the teams?
Depends which one is souped up the most. Who's got the most, chrome and bling on it?
Well, I'll tell you, two previous champions, it's too late to buy a break rocket for Yaka and Ranela.
Yeah, crazy. Yaka, the #1 seed in this tournament, out before quarters. They'll be playing for Ninals. Did we see that coming? I don't think so. I didn't pick them to win it, but I definitely did not see them going out pre-quarters.
As we see Loritz there giving a pump-up speech for this Tartu team. I think they're looking to break now to take half. That's why I think this timeout's been called. Stack a line.
You want to talk about what's going on around the park here?
Yeah, we have Cespedes in the lead, 6-4 against Savage Ultimate. Deep Space up 6-5 in that UK derby versus Reading. And then I think that's the Tiefentauscher up 7-5 against Disconnection. So a lot of kind of country on country derbies in the quarterfinals. We're seeing that in a number of divisions actually.
Yeah.
Kind of like to see it because it kind of guarantees you don't have, you You have disparity of nations and likely in semis and finals.
Yeah, it's great.
Mosquitos going to try and do the same now and attempt to break downwind. It's Tartu with a commanding lead, but Mosquitos have shown they're definitely capable of making it to the semis.
A little bit of lapse there in the middle for Mosquitos. They started well and then kind of just, they weren't decisive with a few offensive possessions. They were made to pay, and now they find themselves can do to get back in this game. We're going to take a short break too, and we'll have all that action for you coming up in the second half. Angetta and the Mosquitos. Now Spalholz. Roy back to Deutsch Bayer. Ooh, off target, but Spalholz hauls it in. That throw not on target either. Hubel still collects. Leading throw, Angetta's there, and that's exactly what the Mosquitos needed to start the half. 6-8, they're still down 2, and means they got a lot of work to do, but that's one way to get things started and back on the board. Get your defense out there, Liam.
A perfect start to the second half for Mosquitos. Grind their way upwind and get the goal, a clean hold to start things off. And this is where they can put Tartu under pressure. Is, you know, Tartu have to go upwind now. Easier for defenses to try and swarm and put pressure on. We saw them start the game very well and put a lot of pressure on Tartu. Have struggled to do it in the latter stages of this game.
You know, Tartu haven't won this game by any stretch of the imagination, Liam, but you do start looking ahead and, like, if they could get through this, can they keep going? Are either of these teams, like, you know, TFC Tauscha, the #1 seed, Deep Space and Reading, whoever gets through, perennially get through deep in these tournaments. Are either one of these teams, let's talk Tartu as they're in the lead, they get through this, can they keep swinging? Can they keep going in this tournament?
100%. Their best 7, which a lot of which is on the O-line, is as good as any team here. Like the Tam, Terra, Leith, Loritz,
Rabba.
Yeah, they're as good as anyone. I think they lack depth at times. And you can see they've crossed over at key moments, called timeouts to get the breaks. And they can keep doing that as long as they can stay fit and healthy. They can beat anyone here.
I might be so bold to say that they got the best male matching and female matching player in the division in Jakob Tam and Helm Terra. Too bold?
I need to look at, there's some German studs there, and the 2 German mixed teams, wow.
That huge play, and Mosquitos they were inches away from breaking. Now Dunshan, a couple meters back. Meister watches Lintz close in on the mark. High release, Dunshan, not in yet, but does hit. Hits hard, in fact, and gets Bauer for the goal and the break. What a play, that layout to get things going. Mosquitos, as we start talking about the potential for Tartu to win this thing, we see Mosquitos come into the second half, hold, and then break, and now they're within 1, Liam. It is turning into one heck of a ball game out here, and they ain't even using the ball.
Rain from Mosquitos. And Mosquitoes starting off the second half much like they started the first, with a hold and upwind break, but more of a challenge now to try and get that upwind break.
And Rabba comes under. Tedder to Loritz. Inside hit. Pello. Low and off the hands of Terra. Liam, this could be 3 in a row if the Mosquitos can convert. Haida goes too high, and Tartu will get it back. There is some contact behind, but no foul call. Sharuga shakes it off, gets up, and just ready to keep playing. Tam. Stock count rising. Terra comes back to the disc. Tam. To Terra. Just finds space through now to Pello. Tedder to Tam. Tartu continue. And that one gets knocked away, but still hung on to. Tedder makes a play and catches the wobbler, and now they're in. Great finish, Marin Rabba. Wow, I thought Mosquitos had got it back there, but great focus by Tedder to keep it alive.
Tartu walking the tightrope there. Didn't make it easy for themselves. Mosquitos had a chance to get a block. Hate to say catch your D's, but that was definitely maybe an opportunity to throw yourself at that one. Gave Tedder the chance to get it on the second attempt. Brilliant layout grab. Well, Mosquitos showing they're putting this star-studded Tartu O-line under pressure. It's going to be harder to convert those break opportunities. They're probably going to get one or two of them. I like they were shutting down the deep options. Got the short field turn, but couldn't convert. And you see, you'd imagine Tartu aren't really going to cross over players at this point. They just want to try and... They could potentially win the game, but just scoring their trading out downwind. Obviously, they're still going to try and get the breaks, but they're not going to cross over it.
They got to really prevent that potential to allow Mosquitos to break, as they almost did in that last point. The Angetters receive the pull and commence the offense. Roy now around to Hammerl. Hammerl to Angetter. Angetter winds up, sends to the end zone. Hammerl's there. Feet are down, and Mosquitos put another one on. They're back within one.
Scoring with ease now on the downwinds, Mosquitos. But that's not going to be the challenge for them, you think. It's going to be getting that upwind break. Marcus Hammerl. He's been starting off with a hat, but we've seen it disappear now.
Oh, no, I thought he went to pick up the hat. That was the disc. He's on pulling duties, clearly.
The disc can also be worn as a hat. There's many uses of a disc.
Oh, yeah.
And see that deep shot. That's what Tartu don't want to see. Is try to make them, work it slowly, not give them a deep shot straight away. Just try and keep the Mosquitos O-line out there as long as possible. The great Davide Mori would be timing your defensive points and how long you keep them out there. And it's just, you also want to give your star-studded O-line a chance to rest. They want to be walking back on 10 seconds later. Same objective for, I think, Mosquitos here. I think they did a good job of stopping the hook. We've seen throughout this game how good both these teams are at hooking. That if you can take that option away and just hope that somewhere on a swing or a short field pass, you can get the option of an easy upwind score. And we are using the prescribed gender pulling rules.
The 16-year-old set to pull, Liam. Sharuga sends one. And Pello will pick it up. Christian Loritz to Pello. And now Leet goes to Tam. A little bit of congestion there. And he sends deep. Terra in space. And knocked away. Hubel gets the hand there. Mosquitos are going to get a chance to break. They'll need the whole field to do it, though.
Hubble takes out her fly swiper, and it didn't look like she was going to get there, but Terra was waiting. But the package never arrived. Just the smallest, I think, of tips just prevents Terra from taking it down, and Mosquitos pumped up now.
Meister. Inside shot hits Sharuga. Meister to Dunshan. Dunshan keeps it inside. Hader. And he fires to Hammerl. Hammerl zips one, but that's knocked away. No second effort. Loritz gets enough of it.
I'm not sure if that shot was really on. Loritz got enough of it, and you can see they're doing well working the unders actually there, Mosquito. It looked like Tartu were doing a lot of switching, and I think it was a bit of lazy defense at times, but going upwind, this is a very difficult shot. See, Terra was in the backfield as well, which she's so good at doing.
She's got great presence of mind, great field awareness to know what's going on with her individual assignment and the flow of play. Can release herself from assignment very well to help the team. Wow, what a bid by Sharuga. She is having a game out there, but Tartu continue to make completions now in the hands of Tam. And Tam puts it too far for Leet. Sharuga off to the races. Sorry, that's Hobel. Off to the races, but slow to pick up. Now Dunsun gets started and given right back. Hayda can't hang on. Luritz, is Tam gonna go for it? No, he'll take the under as he was given that space. There is a poach somewhere. Tam to Luritz. And there goes Tam, and Luritz sees it, and Tam takes it. He is so difficult to defend when he gets going into the deep space. Leet to Tam. Tam floats it, and a little too casual that time, Jakob.
Yeah, need to keep their focus here. I do like how they're working the deep space a lot, even though I'm not sure Jakob Tam had position when that disc went up, but he finished off with position, just goes and takes it. But you can see they look a little tired and just a bit of focus from Tartu.
Ooh, well done to hang on to that, Bauer. And goes back to Meister, now to Dunsun. Too high. Yes, it is. No, it isn't. Yes, it is. Up, over. First read, second read, third read, and finally hits the ground. Luritz now, and Tartu send it deep. Raba, but I think Hammerl's going to get in the way. No, he won't. Over everyone and lands right into the left hand of Marin Raba. What a series of events there.
Yeah, confusing plays. That's why Hammerl didn't get stuck in the mixer there. I thought, you know, definitely is the height mismatch, but maybe just couldn't get around into position as we see a nice celebration dance there. But yeah, unusual point. People in sixes and sevens ever. I think people are just tired in that point. And Hammerl, I just completely got away from him there. Not sure why he wasn't able to get a bit closer to the disc. Been a bit casual at times, Tartu, in that. I think they look tired. You know, having to play that pre-quarter game earlier. That was a close one against Pelt. It was a heated game. You know, these are tough days at EUCF. You're playing a lot of games, especially day one and day two are brutal.
If you're playing a pre-quarter and you got to, win 3 elimination games to get into a final, that's a huge day. And it is a huge day here. So much happening around the park. Open and women's quarters coming up next round too. It's all getting exciting here. Deutsch Bayer is very excited. Does a full 360 and then does get Angetta and gets it back. Deutsch Bayer. Fires. Power. Deutsch Bayer. Hammer! And has a wide open Angetter. The throw knocks him onto his back. And they're able to put the defense back on the field there within 1. 9-10. Tartu still in the lead.
Brilliant stuff from Mosquitos, particularly in the handlers. That had a sugar-coated hammer over the top and backpedaling as he gets it in his hands. And you know, as I said, that was a short pull as well from Helen Terre, having to start a half field, so scoring with ease at times, not afraid to uncork a big hammer, loses his hat but keeps the disc.
And they point game here. We got a 1-point game on a couple fields right now. It's Tifse Tauscha with the same score line, 10-9, ahead of disconnection. Seski looking comfortable, 10-6 over Savage. And Deep Space Reading on the other field, 1 point lead for Deep Space, 9-8. So a lot of tight quarters, as we would only expect.
Yeah, I think particularly the mixed division is a bit of a Wild West. It's where you see a lot of upsets and a lot of close games, and you can see it's kind of split stack here from Tartu. Something I've been doing a little bit.
Loritz finds center to Tam. Tam goes back to Pello as Loritz was pointing that way. Pello unmarked until now. Tam. Waiting for options. Tedder comes back. And Tara to the middle of the field. Tam. High release backhand to Tara. Inside to Marin Rabba. Rabba, Tam. And a leading throw. Well done to go lefty there. Good take by Rabba, now to Tam. Rabba slowly chipping away at these meters in the red zone. There's a bid by Meister, but Tara hangs on. Tara engaging Tam, gets the dump, lead to goal, and Lawrence is there. 11-9, Tartu stay in front by a deuce.
Christian Lawrence getting horizontal, slow and steady. They march it into the end zone, Tartu. And there was good pressure from Mosquitos that whole point, eventually having to work in the handler space. There's a lot of sagging in the lane, no real options downfield from Tartu for the majority of that point. Just working small ball handler space, and you see Tara and Tam having to come back and play in handler roles as we see them here. It's not, you don't really expect Tam and Tara to be handling, but I think they're trying to force them into that space, not allowing them to go deep and taking what's given to them there, and eventually.
Love to see the adaptability there. Even as Mosquitos identify them as deep threats, they take away the deeps, force them into the throwing spaces, and they say, okay, we'll take that. If you're going to give us that, we'll take it and make you pay with our throws.
Christian Lawrence.
Lawrence, not a bad game. 6 stats, 2, 3, and 1. Wow. The veteran getting it done.
Yeah, I remember marking up against, it must be 10, 12 years ago, Windmill, and I think it was Sexy Legs was his team back then, and he made an impression on me back then, and he's doing the same thing now. Still got it.
Deutschbayer to Angetter. To Deutschbayer.
And we see a zone here from Tartu. I think it's a good idea. You want to try and slow them down, Mosquitos, anyway. Give your O-line a chance to rest.
And with the amount of clean holds we've seen in this direction, changing it up on the defensive side is, as you say, not a bad look, not a bad change up. Shot in and corralled, a full body fold around it. And Rabba Prizbilak gets the goal for Mosquitos, and they close the gap back to 1.
Mosquitos making light work of the zone there. He maybe put his zone out trying to slow him down. It didn't stop him at all. Mosquitos scoring with ease, little dishy lefty. And let's see what the coaches are going to drop now to try and stop Tartu.
What I am noticing right now is that Alexander Spalholz has not been well injected in the game, and he's not on the full line call. He's off on the side having a throw. So wondering what his situation is, if he's in full health and ready to go, or if he's nursing.
Talking to Spalholz on the sideline there. I think he said he has one more point in him. He says his knee is maybe not so good.
He gave us a little wah there with the hand there. That basically what the turnover hand signal is to say that he's not doing so well, a little wobbly. Lawrence to Tam. Back to Lawrence. Now Jakob Tam. Helen Terra. Quick movement here by Tartu into the red zone. Lawrence. Fires low. Tam happy to go into a commando role. Uh-oh, and a miscommunication there. Tam throws and Meister intercepts. Kratky to Meister. And now Dunshan. There could have been a pick if he did throw it, so going under the easier option.
And that's not the chore they want to do. They do not want to test Tam deep.
Woo! Helen Terra gets the run-through defense. Jakob Tam to pick up. Raba taking a look. Only in a dump space. Pello. Now Lawrence. Lawrence looking upfield. High stall counts. Low to Raba. Great pickup. Marin Raba. Hammer. Tam can't get there, too far. Looking for a bit too much.
And the Mosquitos sideline getting pumped up now. Flags are flying. The team in red smells blood. We saw Terra get it back for them once already. Can Tartu do it again? And that hammer was working earlier for them, but catches the wind.
And Dunshan will put things into play, and an immediate timeout. Centered on their own goal line.
Well, they did center it.
Call?
They did center it, I suppose. Better to center it than take timeout. I'm not sure because I think Tartu are more tired than they are. I don't know if it's because they're tired. They want to come up with tactics. I think if I was the coach now, I'd be telling them probably not throw it to the players being marked by Tam and Terra in particular. I think they've tested them once or twice and just trying to get them to clear out, create space, maybe pick one or two matchups you think has the better matchup to try to isolate those players. I think we saw them work it up with small ball, just try and endlessly grind unders and swings. I don't think Tartu want to run around too much. They would love for them to send it straight away. I think they trust themselves to win the battle in the air.
Yeah, a interesting timeout called. Mosquitos have to come up with a way to break, and I guess they've got this chance now. They do have disc in hand. Timeout didn't quite work for him last time, but give it one more kick at the can.
And this is the next generation of Austrian Ultimate. It's Meister there, 20 years old. So many young Austrian players. I think we're seeing, the start of something really special from the Austrian side. And Austria went to the World Championships in Australia mostly because they were funded to do it. They get funding from the Austrian government. Each player getting around €2,000 contribution, flights, accommodation all paid for, which is not something you see
every country.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
And I'm not sure actually. I don't recognize many of the players from that, but I think it's going to help the Austrian community grow for sure.
Oh, most certainly. I mean, I know Dunshan was certainly on the open team there. And I believe both the Angetters were there as well. Beyond that, I'd have to go back and do some roster research, but it's surely paying off into these programs, getting this many players with world's experience.
And you see Tartu surrounding the stack there, coming on a vertical stack, Mosquitos. Tartu very quickly being like, hey, let's play team defense.
As they work their way under. Fires a shot into Roy. And back around now. Dunshan. Ooh, Meister well played to keep that one alive. Meister goes high, too high, and Tam intercepts. Lawrence is off, had separation, and now it goes maybe a bit too late to throw. No! Lawrence reads it perfectly and hauls one in, and Tartu stay up by 2. It's 12-10. What a play.
Tartu holding on, being tested by the Mosquitos, but able to score downwind yet again. Lawrence, the legend, Tam puts it up to him, and all you can say is look out below as Lawrence climbs high, and we've seen that a couple of times, having a catch with her offhand as the wind carries it over his left shoulder, but Lawrence enjoying himself out there.
We've got some extra spectators in the commentary booth right now, Liam.
Yeah, we got some daddy daycare with David Amori.
Daddy daycare, the new father. Samuele Mori taking in his first mixed EUCF final, or quarterfinal. And as we understand it, Samuele Mori is here to watch Marin Raba and Jakob Tam.
Well, someone that definitely watches the player with this there, number 33, Clara Lead, has been exceptional for Tartu Turbulence as well. She's been playing a lot of O&D. She's one of the players that's been doing double duty and certainly doesn't look tired. Going for the roller pull there.
Wind up and sent. Can Roy read it? Indeed. Great play, not in. That's surprising. But they will finish. No, they will not. Hobel can't get the hands there. That is a shame.
And we do have Tara crossing over. And said Lead, who's been exceptional. Having to go upwind now. Coming on the horizontal stack.
And Tartu, that one by Lilorg, gets it forward. Lilorg again. High stall count. Lilorg gets it over top, only just. Noman goes to Lawrence. Lawrence sends deep, and that's a hit. And Tartu get a big break. 13-10 now. They're looking the goods right now, Liam.
You feel that's 1 foot in the semi-finals. That is a break, but an upwind break. As you see the brake rocket being stomped on there. They're really enjoying themselves out here.
And as much as Clara Leet may have crossed over there, that was a pretty pure D-line otherwise.
Look at that big buttery biscuit. Cross field into the wind. And that brake rocket, seeing some action in this game.
Yeah.
It's had a few stomps on it already. I remember the Ranelagh one, by the end of their championship run, was pretty stomped out.
Yeah, they were breaking away there. You'll start to see in some of these shots the warm-ups in the background. Chak, the French outfit from Nantes Pornichet. They'll be taking on Wall City next in a huge quarterfinal in the Open Division. Here, being produced by Ulti TV on EUF Solid Sports. Dunschön and Angena now to Spalholz. Dunsi to Raba Prisbilla and back to Dunschön. Spalholz back out there, notable. Angena to Dunschön, finds a nice seam. Raba Prisbilla exchanges and back to Angetter. Leads into the middle, Dunschön, Raba Prisbilla and Angetter. Fires for goal and just collects before Billy Idol comes screeching through with a rebel yell.
Yeah, Jakob Tam is almost a blur on the screen as he came flying through. Great concentration from Mosquitos, and that's an upwind hold.
It's a great throw by Angetter, despite the fact that Tam almost got a sniff of it.
Mosquitos with a mountain to climb now, though. You realize how short the Tartu Turbulence roster is. Like, if they get a break, they can't really put out another D-line. It's kind of the same players or some of the old coming over. It is a small roster here. I don't even think the full amount of players are playing either. It feels like there's only maybe 13 or 14 really taking the field at times. Timeout being called.
Timeout by Mosquitos, we've got to imagine. I mean, Tartu just got scored on, but it is Tartu who called the timeout. And based on what you just said about their roster size, that maybe that is precisely what they need to get a breather.
Yeah, I think Jakob Tam was out there. A few other players crossed over when they got that break earlier. I think it's, hey, let's use our timeouts when we need them in terms of just taking a break. I think they're probably looking at the clock as well, being let's run down a minute or two if we can. Games are 90 minutes here today, so we're just 7 minutes away or so from the time cap. I think Tartu will be delighted to see it whenever it comes. They will have, you know, several opportunities, you'd think, if it came soon to win the game. Mosquitos need, you know, they got a downward break earlier on in this game. They need to do that now. Tartu in the driving seat. And you know, a lot of countries like Estonia, Latvia, they have often done really well in mixed division. And I think they have some top players, but just the depth at times they've lacked. I think they're able to exploit that a little more maybe in the mixed division. We've definitely seen Salaspils dominate at times, their neighbours. I think Tartu can do the same. They definitely have that similar talent to make that comparison. It's the biggest challenge for them, I think, is managing their energy levels and game time. Brilliant pull for Mosquitos. Their pulls have been fantastic, actually, throughout this game. That's the way you want to do it. That bladey backhand pretty much ensures that you're not going to throw a brick. You can kind of blade it anywhere in the back of the end zone and rolls out, that's fine. They're going to walk it up, but it gives you time to set up your defense. Spalholz is back on the field as we see him going up against Jakob Tam. I'm expecting them to look Tara Tam. Tara's being given,
what, 3 meters?
3 or 4 meters under, but they're going to be sagging in the lane as we see it there. That's how they're going to give Helen and Jakob the unders, but they're hoping for the handler marks to sag in the lane to stop the underpass.
And Lillorg and Loritz get things moving, but still playing out of their own end zone. 3 passes in, they go around and hit Rabba. Rabba leads, great throw to Lillorg, and leads to Tara. Tara goes to Tam, he puts the hand out and collects. Tam leads. Lillorg there, shoots for goal, on target. Rabba hauls in another and makes it 14. It's a game to 15, that much is settled.
Rabba's dance skills as good as her goal scoring, and Tartu marches upwind, clean hold. You see what Mosquitos are trying to do there. Forced them to swing once or twice, but once they got past that first line defense, they were in cruise control. So it's going to be game point now to Tartu. How do you feel about that backhand throw on the flick side?
Never my favorite, but I guess if you get enough of a pivot, you can kind of put your hip out and protect it. Why not?
Call it the granddad backhand. I'm a big fan of it. I throw a lefty backhand there. I think sometimes in those situations where you need a bit of touch, a leading pass, it can be hard on a forehand sometimes. Or just get a better forehand. That'd be also an option. And we're getting entertained by Samuel Mori and David Demori. Noticeably Samuel Moore's got a great grip, like his father. Strong hands.
Angetter goes to Dunshan, and the Mosquitos work the disc around. Angetter, no cuts out of the stack, 0. Now Dunshan, still stagnancy. They find one that's just a step out from the stack, and they get into Bauer. Bauer goes around, and Angetter adjusts. Angetter. Dunshan up line. Dunsey for goal, too high. Second effort is there, and Spalholz puts the 12th on the board before Tartu will get a chance to be on game point with possession.
Well, they stacked line again. Tartu, maybe say stacked line. You just don't have that many players, I guess. They all have to stay out there. But Spalholz came back out for a second point and gifted one there. It was not the intended receiver, but looking a little more alive to the disc there, Mosquitos. Spalholz with his second goal of the game. Looks like he's going to stay out there again. So rested for a large section of the second half, but realizing that, oh, he's coming off.
Backs were against the wall, and he came back out onto the pitch, but maybe too little too late.
He is staying on. He was just called right onto the line. I apologize. But yeah, I guess realizing that, hey, you know, if Tartu score, our tournament's over. So what am I saving my leg for here? This do or die situation for Mosquitos.
So Tartu on game point here. Set to pull our Sharuga and the Mosquitos, hoping they can extend this one. If not, they're playing for ninals. Sorry, for finals. While Tartu will move on. Rabba goes back. Leads to Tara. Tara goes back inside. Into the dump space. Leads Rabba there. Rabba from the near sideline. No options early in the stall count. It mounts the lead and take it away. Jakob Dunshan will not give it up that easy. They get possession again. Laney Meister leads. Dunshan cannot get there. And Tartu Turbulence will start again.
Dunshan with the game-saving block. Going for a little pre-stall here. I think unnecessary as they're clearly walking towards the disc.
Lawrence. High stall count. Leet was there, but taken away. Great knockdown. There's a discussion there. Brumech got the D, and Leet making claims of foul. Who?
I think a strip has been called.
I think it's a strip that's being called. We'll probably get another look at this.
Definitely, we have some people surrounding the screen here as we look to the reference retracted. I think that's the right call as well.
I think so too. It was not a clear strip. If she did have some bit of hand on it, it was never controlled. And now Mosquitos pick up with a short field. Angetter goes to Dunshan, not in. Dunshan motions with the left and then into the backfield. Meister to Spalholz, and player down in all sorts of strife.
And that's Christian Loritz, who doesn't go down easy. Not sure what happened there, but maybe the way he's moving his hips and his back, maybe some kind of cramp in his back, or I'm not sure. I thought he was rolling around in pain, but I actually think he was doing some kind of exercise to try and relieve himself. He's even now rolling his ankle.
Yeah, the good thing about it was kind of laughed off by Tam, and so whatever their exchange was gave some indication of I'll be fine.
Yeah, it turns out Christian Lawrence is just old. That's what it was.
Spalholtz goes to Dunshan. Dunshan to Angetta. High release, that's the second time we've seen that style throw. And Sheruga puts the hand up and comes down with a disc in it. The Mosquitos bring it back to within one. They picked the right time to break, but they're going to need 2 more, Liam.
Mosquitos on the ropes, but come out fighting. Dunshain had an incredible block earlier on, as you see the 16-year-old finishing off that one. And you've seen at times later on in this, the last 2 goals for Mosquitoes, kind of blown coverage and nobody really following up. And they do look a little step behind Tartu sometimes on defense. I think they're trying to play that smart, tired defense of moving when they can. It's not really putting a huge amount of pressure on Mosquitoes. But this is the big possession for Tartu now. That was the upwind attempt, and
there's
like a thief in the night, Dunshain. They went to feed him there, and it ended up being a turnover. Dunshain, they've been fantastic all game long, but got to do it now.
Backs against the wall. It's score or concede the semifinal spot that they have got their eyes set on. And of course that sequence involves generating a turn and converting with a D-line. As said, 2 more times.
And look at this line now for Tartu. Christian Lord staying out there. You see Leet, Tam, Tara. Focused, composed, in the zone right now. They know what they have to do. And if you're them, you want to end this now. You do not want to end up in a situation where you have to score upwind.
And one score upwind and then put extended doubt in your mind. After one break, the seed of doubt may be planted. A second break and there's a run, then that seed starts to sprout, Liam, and then that is trouble. Lillold picks up and goes central to Lawrence. Early cut, Leet wide open, comes under. Couple backhand fakes, nothing there. That now to Tam. Tam jacks it. Lawrence on the other end. Lawrence can end it. He's done it. And Tartu Turbulence are going to the semifinals here at EUCF.
Incredible stuff. Tam unleashes a cannon, no hesitation, doing what they do best, and that's Lowry Lawrence with an incredible grab. Doing it for Talon. Massive victory for Tartu Turbulence, and you can see they want to send the deep shot. Tam weighted that one to perfection, and worthy winners here in the mixed division quarterfinals. As we look at the scores, Tiefentaucher beating Disconnection 15-12. Setsky Discus making light work of Savage Ultimate 15-9. Deep Space 11 up against Reading. That game could still be going on. We're not sure.
It is. It's on the other stream. That one definitely still going on. So Tiefentaucher for sure playing Tartu Turbulence. That semifinal locked in. Setsky awaiting the winner of the All UK rematch that's been rematched so many times over. A cracking affair here. Couple in a row to open things off by Mosquitos, but Tartu weathered the storm, and a big break before half put them in great position to take this game and see themselves into their first ever semifinal on the big European stage.
Mosquitos making a statement here in the mixed division, though. I think they're going to be a team for the future. You know, a really great performance, 15-13 against a great Tartu side. You know, I can see them coming back next year and making the semis. How young this squad is.
They will have lots of ultimate back left in them. You have a look. The break chances is what leads you to believe that Mosquitos may have been able to win this one. 3 for 14 is just not generating enough of the chances they got. Meanwhile, 4 for 7, more than half converted for Tartu Turbulence. And
I think the big thing is Tartu Turbulence got it back. Tam, Tara, all those players are great defensive players. So their O-line may have turned over at times, they got it back.
That's exactly it. And that's what sees Tartu Turbulence into the semis. We're going to go set ourselves up for the next games. As said, this field here, this stream, you're going to get Wall City and Chak. On the other field, you're going to get Moon Cup taking on Iceni. Quarterfinal action in the open gender divisions coming up next. Thank you so much for joining us for this one, a cracking quarterfinal in the mixed division. For Liam Grant, I've been Stefan Rapazzo. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll catch you next time.